going on, yeah? How's your guys' day going? Hope you're having a good day. My day's good. Thank you for asking. I was having a conversation with my mom, as we do sometimes. My mom, she's a very great listener. She makes it easy for me to ramble. So thank you, Mom, for this idea for this video. But anyways, I was talking to her and we just got into the normal topics we always do. Talking about music, talking about life, etc. And it dawned on me that immortality is such a fundamental aspect to being a human being that I don't think we can afford to ignore it. And the reason why I say that is because I feel as though that it's one of those very sneaky topics, those very sneaky things that might not seem all that important or have very much connection to things, if that makes sense. But I feel as though that it's such a almost like unavoidable. It's like you have to understand the gravity that comes with it. And when I say it, I mean the fact that human beings want to be immortal in everything we do. And what I mean when I say that is that it seems as though that every single, I guess, manifestation of ourself comes from the need to be immortal. So much so that we're willing to lose the essence of what makes us what we are so that we can continue to live. So basically, we trade excellence for longevity. And I believe that this is the reason why things suck now. This is why so many aspects, so many creative arts, so much of what makes us what we are comes from the fact that we want to be immortal. And so we're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. And so, we were talking about, me and my mom, we were talking about music, and we were talking about how it's not the same, right? It's just, you have it to where now a sound engineer can do everything for you. And we've managed to make creativity a system, which it's not, right? Creativity in its essence is a process, and processes include learning, failing, trying new things, trying wacky things, right? Like I guess you could say there are an infinite amount of variables at hand when you're in the process of being creative. And you might even do things that you don't intentionally do. And so music obviously falls under one of those aspects. And I wish I remember what the video was called, but I was watching this video and a musician, I don't know if he was a musician or if he was somebody who just understood a lot about music, but basically he was talking about how back in the day when they used to record with tape, even something as simple as the air in the room was able to change the way the song sounded on tape. And so when you put it into perspective like that, it makes you really wonder what we're missing out on now, right? Like how much better the music, even the same songs, right? Like take a song that you like and that you love and imagine what it would sound like with the older equipment and how music used to be made. I feel like it would sound even better, right? But now you have it to where a sound engineer can do everything for you. You don't actually really have to do much of anything. Or even if you are a good singer, you can be a great singer and still suck at making music just because of the way in which it's made now. And so this is one of the many examples that I could give you. And we do this in all kinds of aspects, right? It doesn't matter what you pick, really. You could pick painting, you could pick music, movies, you name it, right? Or the most obvious would be just being documented, right? Being a documented, important person would be the closest to immortality that we could get. And it just seems like we have such a lackadaisical attitude towards it. And I don't think it's a good thing though, right? Where I've had conversations with people where I ask them like, oh, if you had the opportunity to be immortal, would you? And they almost always, people say, yeah. They say yes for some reason, which again, I think is terrible. I don't understand. I really don't. Being immortal would be the worst thing ever. And the reason why I say that, it's not super complicated. I'm sure you already know it, but the whole aspect of living comes from the fact that you die one day, right? The only reason why there's any value to the things we do is because one day we're not going to be able to do those things. If you're immortal, at any point in time, you could just say, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. And you could say that for the rest of forever, and you never have to do anything. And nothing you do would be worth anything, in my opinion. Excuse me. And so, I don't know. I just feel as though that the attitude that we take towards this fundamental aspect is doing us a lot more harm than good. Like, for example, I remember wondering why technology sucks. Like, why is it that now, in the most advanced time, everything seems to be worse than what it was? Like, for example, I want you to go look up the 1950s fridges and tell me they're not better than the current fridges, right? And they would be dirt cheap too compared to our fridges now, right? They just keep upgrading fridges. They keep adding iPads, and like, I don't want to be able to gamble on my fridge and have it cost $3,000. Just keep my food warm. Keep my food cold and let me store a lot of food. That's it. That's the only thing a fridge is supposed to do. There is no reason why these fridges should be $60 billion with iPads and the ability to turn into a damn transformer. Like, no, it's just not. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. And so it's very obvious, right? They purposely are going backwards with the technology. They have to invent new things in order to give you a reason to continue to buy them. And so there it is again, right? The manifestation of immortality when it comes to technology. We've run out of things to invent. We've run out of ways to make things practical. And so we have to make stupid things new in order to make them look like they need to be bought. And the reason being that they've already been perfected. Most things, in my opinion, have already been perfected. Fridges have been perfected. Cars were perfected a long time ago, right? Like, you could obviously, in the most technical manner, you might be able to say no and like, oh no, you could always make a car faster. You could always do this. You could always do that. And yeah, you might be right. But like I said earlier, the essence of what a thing is being lost so that it might be better or have more longevity, right? Like, cars just keep getting better, but we're losing the idea of what a car is even supposed to be. And yeah, I understand if you have the take or the opinion that a car should just be something that is from point A to point B and you should be able to get there as fast as possible. Sure, that's a fair assessment. Like, you could say that, but in my opinion, a car is a lot more than that. And I don't want to go super deep into it, but what I'm trying to explain is that the essence of things and the meaning that they convey is a lot more than whatever it is we seem to be trying to do now. Where, like, there is more to these things that we have not yet been able to manifest or convey. And what stopped us from being able to manifest or convey certain aspects of life is, again, the fact that we want these things to continue forever, right? So, for example, there's plenty of people who believe that you write a book, right? And obviously you want this book to encapsulate everything that you're talking about, and you want to be able to articulate it to the fullest extent possible. And so if you had the ability to make this book hundreds of thousands of pages, would you? No, because more than likely, 9 times out of 10, what it is you're trying to explain can be explained in the most simple terms. And so simply having more does not mean that you've done more, right? Like, obviously, yeah, quality is a lot more important than quantity, but we don't believe that anymore. We don't think this way. And people seem to think that this is, again, people always assume that it just comes from the fact, like, oh, we just need to keep selling things. We just need to keep making more money. But I feel like it's way deeper than that. I feel like it's way more fundamental. It's much more complex than simply, oh, people just want to make things to sell them. Like, no, I think it's more than that. I think that we continue to make movies. I think we continue to just do anything for the sake of trying to reach this transcendence, trying to reach this stage of immortality that is more than us. That's what makes it so, I guess, enticing, right? And yet it's so ironic because the closer we get to these, I supposed stages of immortality, the less that we are, right? We lose all sense of humanity and all sense of soul or essence or groundedness when we get closer to these things. And I really do believe that's why the world is the way that it is, right? It's almost like this might sound stupid or this might not make a whole lot of sense, but I even feel this way about just the way in which people reflect, or I guess maybe not reflect, but carry themselves, you could say, or even just how people think of themselves. Like when you think of, again, this is going to sound stupid to say, I hope it makes sense what it is I'm trying to explain, but even like people who are overtly nonchalant, right? It's like they're doing it because they want for you to think that there is more to them, right? So you see how I'm trying to make the connection. They are in some way or another trying to be more than what they are, and they're doing that by not doing things. Like, how does that make any sense, right? And so in the same way, we are trying to reach immortality. We are trying to reach the most that we can be by not being ourselves. And that's where the disconnect comes from. And so even in the way that we talk to each other, even in the way that we create things, in the way that we do everything, it comes from this place of just, we need to be more all the time, more than what we are, though. That's the part that makes it so stupid. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you might try to do. It doesn't matter how much you, I guess, achieve in your efforts to do this, if you know that these things are not what you are. I don't know. I feel like I sound crazy. I feel like I sound like those generic mad scientists. Like, I feel like I'm just rambling about nothingness. But anyways, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting thought, and I feel like I don't hear people bring that up very often. And so I just wanted to come on here and share my thoughts. If you agree, disagree, let me know what you think down below. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for watching.